Here is Nick's breaststroke. See him dive in. Pretty good launch. We are getting in that pull out just a little too early. Make sure you're being a little bit more patient. We want to make sure that pull is just before you slow down and that kick happens just before you slow down. We've got that very low style breaststroke kind of going on. You do tend to pull those elbows back real far. We want to make sure you keep those arms out just in front of you a little bit more so you can actually squeeze those elbows together and get a little bit more pop into that movement vertically for that breath. As you're coming in for the turn, you are leading your body with your head. So you're coming in, you're turning your head to the left and coming around. You're almost trying to circle swim as you're going through. Want to make sure as you're coming in for that breaststroke, take your head, just work on dropping it straight back, but you're going to end up driving those knees directly underneath your body. As you're going through that turn, you're pulling off that left elbow. You're going to end up giving yourself just a little bit more pressure as you're going back on that left shoulder, and that will twist your feet up at an angle at the very last second as they plant themselves on the wall. So make sure you're working on just driving your knees directly underneath you so that you can pull those feet up onto the wall and get your body off the wall a lot faster and moving the least amount of space. Timing there looked a little bit better. We can still probably wait just a little bit longer. But as you're starting that pull, right through here, you just eventually pull your arms straight back and then they shoot forward. You're losing a lot of that power in that stroke that you can gain right at this point in time. So really kind of work on just sweeping out, squeezing those arms in and squeezing those elbows in without pulling those elbows back towards your body. That's going to give you a much stronger pull and be able to utilize your strength as you get older. See you get in for the finish here. A little bit longer. We want to make sure that you do judge your finish a little bit more as you're out past the flags. So as we're going through the couple of strokes here, you're either going to want to try and speed something up and throw in an extra pull there at the end, or you're going to want to try and stretch out a couple extra strokes. It kind of is one of those that you're going to really have to work on in practice so that you can figure out what works for you for that perfect finish, so you're getting all that momentum to explode into the wall without any deceleration at the end. Nice job, Nick. Here is Nick's breaststroke. See him diving in pretty deep, and then as we go through here, you're coming up at a pretty steep angle. We want to make sure that you're waiting a little bit longer for that underwater pull. That way we can actually rise to the surface at a little closer line to a straight line. As we look at that kick behind you, you are getting a really solid kick. You're kicking a little bit at the surface, so we're going to want to be able to try and bring that kick down just a little bit deeper. As we come in for the wall, get in for that turn, you are pulling those knees up to the side. So we really want to make sure that you're driving those knees up straight underneath you so then you can get that backward somersault going through. Think about that left arm pulling off as if you're pulling back on a bow and arrow. As we saw that first stroke, you're grabbing right there at the surface. Make sure we're grabbing a little bit deeper. As we go through the stroke, those elbows are pulling far back. We want to make sure you're keeping those arms out in front of you a little bit more so you can actually squeeze those elbows together just a little bit better. As we see you going in for the finish here, see that you stretched it out a little bit more on one of those strokes. Probably could have stretched it out on a second stroke so that you weren't gliding into the wall on that finish. Nice job, Nick.